Hey everyone, hope you are doing good. Okay, following to the last session in our channel, today we are going to see on Tableau file types and folders. Okay, so let's go through all these file types. Then I will show you really how in Tableau. Okay. So these are the different file types available in Tableau, known as TWB, BM, TWBX, Hyper or .TDE, TDS, TDSX, etc. Right. So theoretically, we would have worked on these files when it come to the workplace. By remembering this theory, we leverage all this file format. Instead, I'm going to show what it really contains and how it looks like within this file format. Okay. So let me open this comparison. Okay. So we have TWB. What do you mean by TWB? It is Tableau workbook. Okay. TWBX, that is also Tableau workbook, but it's a packaged Tableau workbook. Okay. So what is the difference between TWB and TWBX? The TWBX will contains the data. It can be offline data. Okay, if it's offline data, let's say if you're connecting to a CSV file or a flat file or Excel file, this Tableau file will include the data. When you're creating the extract out of the offline data or using the DB connection, it includes the TDE file or the Hyper file. Okay, Hyper is the latest version. Both are interchangeable. So next we are going to talk about the Hyper. Hyper or TDE is nothing but the extract. It's an extract file. Let's say you have one source, it can be any format, it can be flat file or database. If you want to create the extract out of it, and it's a optimized format. Hyper is the optimized format. It takes the extract from the data and creates this extract. Okay. So what are the advantages of Hyper, TDE, what is the difference between live together in this solely concentrating on the format. Okay. The next file format is TDS, Tableau data source file. So Tableau data source file mean what? So let's say if you are connecting to the Excel, it has to show the file detail. What is the file name? What are all the file properties? Where it stores the file, etc. Right? When it comes to TDSX, okay, it's an extension of TDS. So in TDS, we store the data source data source information. In TDSX, data source information, it will store the data. It can be in the actual data format or in the hyper format. Okay. So now the confusion comes in is then what is the difference between TWBX and TDSX, right? Um, in TDSX, it also stores the calculation and the connection details. You can encrypt and store. When it comes to TWBX, it will store the visualization as well. Okay, so TWBX will store everything. It will store the data in the actual format or in the hyper format, plus calculations, plus it will store the visualization, right? Whereas in TDSX, it won't store the visualization, but it will store the rest of the stuff. In another video, I have shown what are all the advantages of it, creating TDSX semantic layer, right? So if you go through that video, you come to know what are the advantages of having TDSX and bringing the TDSX as the Tableau data source into the actual workbook. Okay. So let me go ahead and show how these files are looks like, right? Okay. So these are all the files I have created, right? So let me start with TWB. Okay. Okay. So here I have one Excel source which I have connected, right? And this is a live connection. Okay, this is a live connection which I have made, and I stored this file save as. Here I am storing it as TWB. Another option I have packing to workbook. So let me show how it stores in TWB in the live connection. Save. Okay. So this workbook is composed of, one is the visualization and the set of calculations and the data source, right? So this TWB file comprises of this visualization and this calculation. How about the data? It has created an additional folder, okay, and it stores the data. So let me create the extract. So how to create the extract? Go to the data source, click on extract data, and here you can choose all the options like selecting the filter, etc., and click on extract. It is prompting where you want to store this extract. I'm going to store this extract at this location. I've already created some extract. Okay, fine. Now, when you store this TWB file, here is the TWB, and its extract is stored here. Okay, so now let me store this as TWBX. File, save as, choose TWBX, and naming this file as TWBX. And here we are storing it as the TWBX, including the extract, right? Including the extract. Save. I already have one file. I'm just overwriting it. It has stored here, right? So how to create the TDS file? Click, add to save the data source. Here you will get an option of TDS and TDSX. Right? So TDS will store .tds format and TDSX will store in the .tdsx format. Okay, so these are all the steps to store the file. Okay, fine. I have shown this matrix, what it will store. Now I'm going to prove it, what it really has. Okay, so right click on the TWB file and open in Notepad. Okay, whenever we are saving this Tableau file, actually it stores in the XML format, right, in the backend. And this is a TWB file. If you take the TWB file and if you say it has data source section, okay, in the data source section it has saved the extract name, what is the actual source file name, right? And we do not have any password or name, right? Then Excel direct. Okay, and all other field information. Okay, now let me open TWBX file. Okay, so when you try to open a TWBX file in the Notepad, it's loading it now, right? It won't show up because it and the XML, right? So what we have to do is I'm creating the folder called experiment. I'm taking this TWBX file here. Okay. Now what I'm doing is right click and unpack. Okay. Unpack this file. So what it is saying is this TWBX comprise of TWB and its relevant files. Okay. So let's say if you're having the image in your file, everything gets stored in this file. Okay. So TWBX comprise of TWB plus its data. This data can be image, this data can be Excel file, this data can be a hyper, TDE, etc. Let's go in and so inside it has a folder called data. If it has image, it will have a folder called image. Inside data, you have set1. Inside that, you have the actual data. Okay, got it? Okay. So now let us go to the next file format. The next one, we are having TDS, Tableau file. Okay. So let us open this file in Notepad. So what it has stored the source information, right? And it has stored all the columns. If you are having the calculated field, it will store all the calculated field and etc. Okay. It will store just the metadata. Okay. Now let us try to open TDSX file. Okay. Right click on TDSX and try to edit in the Notepad. This is giving the similar behavior of TWBX because the only difference between TWBX and TDSX is TWBX will have visualization and TDSX won't store the visualization, right? But here also it has the metadata, the connection information, calculation, plus the data, right? So in order to view this, again I'm going to the experiment. Let me delete the old experiment files. Let me take this TDSX file into the experiment, paste it, and let me unpack. Okay, if you're not seeing the unpack option, another option here is convert this file into, convert the extension into zip. Okay, so now let me try to open the zip. The zip is comprised of two files. One is data, another one is TDS file, right? Let me try to copy this file here. Okay, so this is having the TDS. So let me open this TDS in Notepad. Okay, so this is the TDS file. So this TDS and this TDS both are same. Okay, so it has the TDS file plus it has one more. It's having the data. Okay. Difference between file formats. Okay, so rather remembering the theory behind all this file, okay, if you have quick clarification, you can install all these different types of file and try to open in the Notepad. And if you start experimenting it, you can understand what it is storing, right? So how the files looks like, etc. Okay, so I will share everything on the channel. If you like this video, click like button underneath the video and subscribe to the channel. If you have any clarification, please feel free to write the comment in the bottom section, or if you want to contact in an email or etc. We have the contact details in our channel page. You can feel free to contact. I will catch you up with another interesting topic in my next video. Thank you.